stay with our focus tonight because the party's Youth League, at least the conveners of the Youth League, say they will push for more young people to be included in the National Executive Committee. The task team convener, Nonceba Mhlauli, has welcomed the results announced today.
And joining us now is the convener of the task team for the Youth League, Nonceba Mhlauli. Nonceba, thank you so very much for your time. Is this what you wanted?
I think first and foremost, the ANC is the biggest winner. Branches of the ANC have, for the second time in a row, given the outcomes, showed us that they're actually not interested in slate politics. You would have seen that the outcomes, one would have been a mixture of various perspectives, and I think it's a good lesson. It's a good lesson to all members of the ANC that we must always be guided by the will and the interest of what is our basic unit, which is the branches of the African National Congress. We are also particularly happy about the fact that we've got 3 women in the top 7. You would have known that in the previous leadership we only had 1 woman, and it's really good progress. The fact that out of 7 people, 3 of them are women, and one younger woman in particular, which is Comrade Maruping Ramogopa.
Historic in many, many ways for Gwen Ramogopa to take the office of Treasurer General, having been nominated from the floor.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened before?
I do not believe so. I do not believe that we've had a woman being raised from the floor and be elected into that position, and it's quite astounding. I'm ecstatic about it. I'm so happy that we have a woman as a TG. I'm happy that we've got 2 other women in the officials, and I think it's a really good, solid collective that will take us forward. Obviously, as young people, we are now targeting the list of 80. In fact, we just had a youth caucus right now, where we'll be looking at young people that we should be pushing for additionals. We're very clear that we want majority of those who are part of the 80 to be young and younger people.
Also, these 3 women that you've mentioned, Nomvula Mokonyane, first DSG, Maruping Ramogopa, second DSG, and then obviously Gwen as the TG. Very key, very strategic positions within the administration of the African National Congress at a time when the party seems to be really limping administratively. It comes in without a functioning SGO really, as well as a party that's near bankrupt.
No. I think firstly, the fact that we've got Fikile Mbalula as SG. Comrade Mbalula is a former SG of the ANC Youth League. He is a former president of the ANC Youth League, and he's now gone to become the SG of the ANC. I think only 1 former leader of the ANC Youth League has gone on to do that, and I think he's now the 2nd one. He has a whole lot of energy. He's led our elections. He is complemented very well by Comrade Unomvula, who would have been our head of organizing, also very energetic. You know, we have Comrade Maruping, who's younger as well, also coming from the ranks of the Youth League, and obviously now Comrade Gwen, who would have also been in the SGO as the coordinator in the SGO's office. So we really believe that this team is going to be a very, very solid team, particularly right now because come 1st of January, we need to start on our election campaign going into the 2024 national and provincial elections. And I have no doubt that the current SGO that we have is going to take us to a victory in a couple of months' time.
One last question. KZN really, suffered in terms of its numbers here. Do you think that this conference again was a rejection of that kind of politics and even some of the ill discipline that they showed?
I don't think that we should use the word rejection. I think one, you actually had 2 candidates from KZN on the ballot. You had Comrade Zwelim Kize, who was on the ballot for president. You had Comrade Mduntuli, who was on the ballot for SG. I think that in itself showed that there is support for the 2 comrades across the country. I don't think that there's a rejection of it. I just think that ultimately what would have happened as the outcomes of the top 7 is really what would have been the will of the branches and ultimately the delegates that hold the mandate from the branches.
All right. Nonceba Mhlauli, thank you so much for your time. All right, the convener of the task team for the Youth League there, Nonceba Mhlauli.